Good. How are you?
Hello.
You're Richard?
Yeah.
You are? Okay.
Yep.
I was told by, we are recording, by the way, just a heads up. Just had to get that ready before it was time to rock and roll. I was told by James, I think, that you were going to be here. So,
Awesome. How's things going for you?
complain.
Busy?
Yeah. Luke knows I'm lying about that.
Planes every single day.
Oh no, we're busy. Well, we're busy as all get out.
Yeah.
It's just, as soon as the permafrost goes away, all right, time to hit the ground running.
Right.
Here we are.
Everybody wants something done yesterday too.
Oh, ugh. Yeah. That's the refrain, the everlasting refrain of our department.
Yep.
Can you get me this done yet? What's that doing?
Try my best not to screw this up.
Yeah, we'll have a YouTube video if nothing else.
Yep.
I better check the radar.
Is anybody gonna be on Zoom?
I don't know.
If it's gonna rain, I can give you a ride home.
No, it's all right. I need to test that thing in a little bit more robust conditions anyway. So
Okay.
I appreciate it though. I think I'll be fine. It's, see what the radar looks like.
I ride bikes and motorcycles, and it's all those memories that you have that are in those riding in the storms and all that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, it's spotty, so I'll be fine. Looks like we are gonna get a wave here in about an hour though.
Yeah, gusty winds.
So if we could keep the meeting to like 20 minutes or under. I don't think we'll be all that long tonight. So actually right now, yeah, the stuff immediately on top of us is pretty light, but some sky water in hour 90 minutes.
Megan and I will be haphazardly trying to fill in for Hillary tonight.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, how'd you get that lucky?
She had was it senior night for track?
Oh,
Her daughter
sure.
does track, so
Yeah, I saw all the buses out there. Looks like they might get rained on a little bit.
yeah. That's what Elliot was just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. The radar right now doesn't look too bad. There could be some spotty showers. It looks like all the bigger stuff is about an hour away,
Okay.
which takes me about 40 minutes to ride home. So let's get out of here in 20 minutes and I'll be fine.
Okay. Good.
We're gonna have anybody on Zoom.
You asked me that already.
Did I?
don't know.
Okay. And I gotta get my head together.
Tell me about it.
Go turn on that other TV.
So how many miles you get out of your bike? Charge.
I've never run it completely out, but it's a 12-mile commute from my house to here. And it usually takes about 30 to 40% of the battery. But because of the hills, that's usually what kills it. I've gotten here on 2 out of 10 blips before. So somewhere in the 30 to 50 range, I think.
You live south or?
I live near Roosevelt High School.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you live a long ways then.
Yeah.
You see, I live about 12 miles south, so we commute about the same distance,
Yeah.
opposite directions.
Do you go like on veterans? on the bike trail and then come in kind of the back way.
Yeah, so I go, let's see,
Trying to figure out
whoops, hang on.
debating an e-bike, and I'm also debating just bringing my moped in. And I'm like, what way can I take to get to my office where I won't get totally crushed?
So I go from,
Are you casting to the monitors? It's not going on the TV.
let's go up here maybe.
Sorry.
You go down,
Yeah, so I go straight down Ingersoll.
that's my place.
Yep, around the backside of your office, and then at 56th, I hope no one's coming south because they get really impatient going up that hill. I can only go about 15 miles an hour.
Up the hill.
Inevitably, I catch up with them waiting at the light, and then I put my tire. I kiss the bumper with my tire because
Passive aggressiveness. So you go all the way down 56, then go the back way past,
56 Valley
quick trip,
Drive.
and
Yep.
then bike trail.
Backside of QT, and then I stay on the east side of the highway now that
Trail's
trail
done.
segment's there, because why on earth would I cross at Lincoln, go up a little ways, and then
Then
cross
cross
the other
over.
side?
Well, there's a white shoulder over there too.
Hindsight, yeah, it's not too bad. The only thing is I got to keep an eye out for hardware. But yeah, the other thing is like early in the morning, I got to wear clear glasses because I've gotten hit in the head with rocks before. So
Yeah.
just you got to have eye protection, otherwise.
But you said it's an e-bike?
Yes,
Yep.
it's the one sitting out in the parking lot.
Yep. So, yep, then just go down there, Veterans down to Willow Creek to Soteria.
Yeah, the back way into town.
Yep. So I did take Highway 28 all the way into town once. The problem is there is no shoulder.
Once you get to the curb,
There is no shoulder on this bridge.
no, I've
So
seen people
I-
riding down the median of that before on their bike
Yeah.
by the rail, and I'm
It's
like,
like-
that's
I
also
know.
not a good
I know.
idea.
I had to thankfully when I did that, nobody was coming, so I was able to veer into traffic. People saw me when moved over and whatnot. But it did cut 7 minutes off my commute by going that way. It was a pretty significant difference, but not worth it. I would never want to do that again.
Hey, Elliot.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, thanks for
Hey.
joining.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know I'm here online.
We got.
Can you hear me as well, Elliot?
Yep. So Luke, we
Awesome.
got Carson on the Zoom also. And if the map looks a little bit different, it's because I had to change up the. They phased out the version of the software that I use to do this, and for some reason, it's not rendering the little red pin that I normally have there. So
Is the annexation complete?
more or less, right, Luke?
It's going to appeal.
Okay.
I'll give you an update. Everybody an update at the end.
It's being held up, but yeah. So say, I hope that whoosh that we heard earlier was the HVAC kicking on and not a free bike wash.
It's still just ridiculous. Isn't it?
Dude, I was telling Luke and Hillary earlier, like it kept me up last night. It was so loud in our neighborhood.
It woke me up twice last night. Yep.
Part of the problem is I need to prune the tree. So like we've got a little bit of our tree. If the wind gust is strong enough, we'll
Hit a house.
hit the window in our bathroom. It's just nothing violent, but it's noisy. I mean,
I turned the fire pit on for a while last night, and I woke up about midnight. I'm like, I should probably put that when it was cool. I should put that cover back on before it goes away. And I woke up again, and I get 3:30.
yeah,
Like seriously.
I got very lousy sleep between about midnight and 3. It's time to bust out the fan again and get some white noise. Yeah.
Again, man, I do that all year round.
It still wasn't enough last night. Maybe no wind break. That's my problem.
This is a snorer, so I do earplugs. So it doesn't keep me up too much.
Luke, I don't know if Hillary notes non-P and Z members on Zoom, but we have James on with Bishop.
Okay.
FYI.
Jen too, if you want to, Elizabeth.
You don't have to sit on an island.
Yeah.
Out by yourself.
Carson and Andrew are on the Zoom.
Howard or Brent are coming.
Technology wise. I will now call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on April 14th, 2025. It is 5:45 p.m. Luke, would you call the roll for us, please?
Sure thing. Samuelson,
Here.
Forrest,
Here.
Eaton, Hinders, Thompson,
Here.
Steiger,
Here.
Reagan.
Here. Item number 3 is the approval of tonight's agenda. Any changes to the agenda for this evening? Hearing nothing, I would entertain a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda.
Samuelson, a motion.
Thompson second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is the approval of the March 24th, 2025 minutes. Any changes to those minutes? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the March 24th, 2025 minutes.
Thompson motion.
Samuelson,
Steiger second.
good Steiger.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to welcome the guests who have joined us here in person tonight and those on Zoom. If any member of the public would like to make a comment on an item that is not on tonight's agenda, the time for that would be now. Hearing nothing, we'll move on to our first substantive item. Request from Norwalk Community Schools for approval of the site plan of Norwalk High School baseball and softball. Howard's here, Luke.
Oh, yeah, on the Zoom.
Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, and sorry for my presentation here, I forgot to hide the stock numbers that I have when we have a busier agenda. I just forgot to hide those, so apologies there. That's sloppy and inexcusable. So moving on, yep, so the request here is related to bat and ball fields south of the high school campus. They're doing some reconfigurations of the softball field. The diamond is going to be rotated 90 degrees and shifted over to the east a little bit. They're also going to be demoing the buildings on the site, so the dugouts, the press boxes, and the current concession building, and then replacing those with new upgraded ones. So relatively straightforward. Nothing's changing with the parking at the time. Some of the walking paths are being adjusted to accommodate the new footprint of the softball diamond and also where the new concession building is going to go. So this is the layout that is proposed, shifting from 2 softball diamonds to 1.
So the
Yeah,
middle school
that's-
softball diamond's going away with that?
Sorry,
The middle school softball diamond's going away with this.
I'm not sure which one of those that is, but
It was the
Yes.
smaller one, was the.
Yep, okay. So, yep, this will be the new configuration and we do have some visuals of long site plan. Yep, so those are, so that's the concession building. Yeah, so that's fairly straightforward, new press box format. Bleachers are gonna stay put. Happy to take any questions on this. We've got James with Bishop representing the project engineer, and then Richards with us as well. If there are any questions for schools.
Would the applicant's representative like to make a comment on this item?
No, it's just long overdue, you know, it's probably the roughest looking area we have, and we want to get that improved and bring it up, you know.
James, anything for us?
No, nothing really to add. Happy to answer any questions anyone might have.
Great, thank you. Any questions or deliberation from the commission on this item?
Have we left the avenue open to add more parking if maybe there'd be funds along the way? Because I know that parking is an issue during ball games.
Yes, there's some parking that can go, there's a practice field.
The old middle school
northeast of
baseball.
that.
Yeah.
There's some future parking plan that we would look at there, and then also where the middle school field is, which is to the west there, where it's staying, but that's always an option down the road as well.
Any other questions or deliberation from the commission? Hearing nothing, I would entertain a motion to approve the site plan of Norwalk High School baseball and softball.
Thompson motions.
Samuelson will second.
Luke, would you call the roll, please?
Sure thing. Thompson.
Aye.
Steiger.
Aye.
Samuelson.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Eden.
Aye.
Riggin-Etter.
Aye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
George is not with us tonight, but we do have Holly update for us tonight. Holly?
Yeah, I have a couple of printouts by your place settings there, might just make it a little bit easier to kind of track along with some of the updates. One of them is this really boring legislative timetable and schedule for the session, which towards the bottom of that sheet, you see that we're in the April 14th week, which a lot of important things happen this week. The reason why it's such a big deal this year, as you all know, there's a lot of new bills being proposed that will affect public entities and our budgets and how we are able to provide services and funding. So we're watching them really closely. We don't want to jump to any too many conclusions until session concludes on May 2nd. It can extend, but at that point, they're not getting paid any longer. So things will move through a little bit quicker. We're just keeping an eye on those. On the other document, this is just the monthly report that all the departments give to the council each month for updates on the previous month. So I just thought it'd be easy for you guys to also see that and track along. And I'll just touch on a couple of things on the inside. The new Goodwill store is set to open on May 15th, and that's in the old Dollar Tree building. The Hilton True, so our second hotel that's under construction, they plan to be open. They hope to be open by the end of this year. As you know, with many of the projects, there's just been lots of different delays for various reasons, whether it's electricity being moved in or construction, just you name it. But they're doing good, moving forward. Pizza Ranch, obviously underway. They're doing really well. It's exciting that their facility will have an arcade, and so will Mullet's. So there's going to be a lot of things for people to do and kids to do. The Flamingo Lounge is close to completion, and they plan to open or hope to open in May if everything can finish up on time. So that's a former Warrior Run clubhouse. Really kind of a cool space. I don't know if anybody's peeked in there or knows the owners, but kind of wild and fun. So it's supposed to be like an upscale kind of cocktail lounge with kind of a vintage feel, Palm Springs sort of a vibe, so pretty cool. Outdoor space will be neat. Legacy commercial development, that's the ground north of Greg Young dealership underway. They're doing some site work now, as you can see. We have a lot of good things planned in that area as we sort of start to run out of commercial properties along Highway 28. That's a really good prime area. Michael Foods expansion is either complete or really close to that, but they do hope to start production in May, and they'll start hiring all those new full-time employees, which is great. The Dunn Industrial Park development, they've reached completion with the 2 front space or front flex buildings, so they are full of tenants in there. And some of those tenants are HG Sports, which is an indoor sports training facility, Ocean Athletics, Iowa PR Lab, and Complete Nutrition. I think they might have one other tenant to announce soon. Then DMOS, as you guys saw, we did announce them last month. So they plan to build a 12,000 square foot medical facility on Turnberry and Highway 28, north of City State Bank. So that's pretty exciting. And then Ember Market just opened in Norwalk Central on the 11th. Other new businesses in Norwalk Central that will open in the next few months. We're all anxiously awaiting as Mullets. They're doing pretty good, just like everybody else had a lot of plays, but they're getting close. They're excited. Penn High Golf, they're actually moving pretty quickly. They're doing good in there. And then Remax is already open. Vivid Life Spa's getting pretty close. That'll be great new service for that area. And then Cooper's Patio's open, so pretty exciting, that outdoor space. The construction on the NutraSmoothie and Cafe and Sports Nutrition affiliates is going really well. They plan to open in June. So again, just another really great use out in that area for health and fitness. And then on the Southwest Development Corridor, so we've got a couple of holdups out there, which would be a job. I didn't have all these holdups for everything, but 2 of them. One is legislation. So like we just talked about, with all of these bills that are kind of pending right now, can change a lot of what happens with these larger developments. So we're holding until we know what bills pass and what the impact will be on these developments, because if it affects TIF the way we think it will, it'll change how infrastructure gets paid for. It'll change a lot of things. So we're just holding out for a couple of weeks on that, but everything's still moving forward with that project. The tech data center project was still moving forward. Great company, group of people, they're very committed. The other holdup for them is our annexation. So we do have an appeal that came through from the one landowner that did not come in voluntarily. So there is a process that we're waiting to find out more about, but it could delay things in that area with the annexation project by several months, depending on what happens. So a couple things there that we're working through on the Southwest Corridor. I think we've mentioned before that we do have a new website just specifically for the Southwest Development Corridor, so you can kind of keep an eye on that for updates and changes happening down there. We do just have 2 lots left in the Dunn Industrial Park that's available. Otherwise, everything's spoken for down there. And the North River Sewers under construction, so that's good, moving forward in that area. And then on the Des Moines, DC state legislative trip, I don't know if anybody in this group has been on that before, but everybody's welcome to go to it. I know that the city budgets for a couple of council members every year, but anybody in Warren County is welcome to go on that trip, and we just kind of go as one big force, and we go with our legislative priorities. And this year, our 2 priorities for Norwalk is still the Highway 5 interstate designation project, which that does have some traction now. And then with the Southwest Development Corridor and that connection out to I-35 and the future DOT interchange at Fillmore, still high priority. So we'll talk to them about that while we're there. And then the Norwalk developments made the news 19 times in the last couple of months. So we're still really getting out there and getting a lot of attention for the projects. The Highway 5 and 28 entrance monument sign finally underway. That'll be constructed in July. So we should have the new wall project, the new entrance monument sign, and everything else along in that corridor up to speed by hopefully fall, winter, maybe at the latest, and that's all completed. So it'll look really good when that's done. It's been a long time coming. And then on the foreign relations end of things, we have a couple of things coming up. So we have, again, open to everybody in Norwalk that's interested in in this partnership with Kosovo, there is a conference on April 30th at Camp Dodge. It's basically when all of the different partners for Iowa and Kosovo statewide get together and start planning out priorities and what we're going to do, especially with the trip coming up, state delegation trip coming up in June on June 15th. And again, that's another thing that's open to everybody. Anybody's interested in going. I mean, there's representatives there from the education industry, businesses, cities, military, police. I mean, it's a big partnership. So let me know if you have any interest in that. I think otherwise, there's a lot of other updates in here. Didn't cover every single business project that's coming up, but feel free at any time to reach out, and we're happy to update you guys on anything we know. We can give you more details on the legislative stuff too, if anybody's really interested in that. But
With the huge number of new full-time employees that are coming in with Michael Foods, that's amazing. Do any of the departments with the city track like how many of those folks will be coming into Norwalk, living in Norwalk, that type of thing?
we do have studies that are done every 2 years, I believe, through the Greater Maine Partnership. That shows us kind of that inflow and outflow of workers who lives here versus who travels in. And so we do have, I'd say a low number of maybe like the entry level type jobs that actually live in Norwalk. So it's something that we've been working on, and a lot of it is the housing situation. So
yeah, I think it would be interesting to track with that huge number of amazing, that's an amazing addition for a place like this. So
one thing that we've learned from the larger employers in Norwalk is, of course, they love for their employees to be able to live here, especially management, when they get their kids into schools and things like that. There's not a lot of turnover. But what they've relayed, at least, is that they don't have a whole lot of problems getting people to work here, which is really great. Sometimes there's a transportation piece that that's kind of missing, but because we're so close in the metro, it's pretty easy for people to commute. We'd still like to make it better or have them here, but at least as of right now, it's not a huge issue. We'll see that.
good. Any other questions for Holly? Thanks for sharing all that with us, Holly.
You're welcome.
George, do you have any update for
Sorry
us?
for being late.
No, that's
and,
okay.
Holly's life is a lot more exciting than mine. I'll tell you that.
I don't know about that.
So, I really can't think of too much we've had lately at council.
Council's been pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So, which is good for everyone involved, I guess. So that's wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you. Luke, any update for us?
I'll just say ditto to Holly. I think really the only things you missed were Maple Heights sewer should be going this spring yet. So that's the one that goes north, up on North Shore for that Lone Tree development for Maple Heights. I think they're working out a few details yet before we pull trigger on that. And then we should, at council this coming Thursday, they're going to talk about potentially bringing a temporary parking waiver to you guys for discussion for the Fairway Fields and all of that. So there's a couple more options this time now that more stuff is built. But rather than just dump it in your lap first, we're gonna have council kind of give us some direction on what they want to do. Because maybe they don't want to consider a waiver. So I anticipate they will though. So then we'll bring some options to you guys at your next meeting.
Elliot, any update for us?
Yep, I'm expecting probably 2 site plans at the next P&Z meeting. One of them is going to be, assuming we stay on track, Hyper is going to be coming back through.
Okay.
Just some revisions to their plan based on a number of things that I'm not going to get into now. So expect that. I know that looking ahead into the next month, I always forget that Memorial Day typically falls on our second meeting, so we may push that up if we need to accommodate development review schedules. So just throwing that out there. I'll keep my finger on the pulse of it, and if we need to, I'll reach out. Yeah, also at the next P&Z meeting, I'll be ready to announce kind of a side project I've been working on outside the office that's kind of related to the work we do here. You just have to wait and see what that's all about. Yes.
Teaser, yeah. Great. So our next meeting will be April 28th, 2025 at 5:45 PM. And at this time, I will entertain a motion and a second to adjourn.
Thompson motions.
Tiger second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at 6:03 PM. Thanks everyone for joining on.